This is the hysteria that we're in right now, that the kids have to get expelled immediately because they're racist. They're teenage boys. They had acne cream on their face. They're expelled. We have a fascinating story out of Santa Clara County, San Francisco in particular, where a group of high school students had been expelled for wearing blackface. And the news is that they just won a lawsuit with the school because, of course, they weren't wearing blackface. Here's how the local news station covered it.
8:07 your time. Two former students who sued St. Francis High School in Mountain View have been awarded $1 million. The plaintiffs claim school administrators forced them out over an alleged blackface photo. The former students say they were wearing black anti-acne facial masks. A Santa Clara jury sided with the students and said the school violated a non-disclosure agreement. School officials say they're exploring legal options, including an appeal.
Hold on. They violated a non-disclosure agreement? You mean hush money? Why did they call it hush money? I bet you anybody that the segment before then on that local news station, they referred to Donald Trump's hush money trial in Manhattan. And then they tell this story and they use the term non-disclosure agreement instead of hush money. Oh boy, the media is just rotten to the core, isn't it? In fact, did you notice something about that segment there where they're talking about how, 26 seconds. I wonder if the original reporting a year ago about these hateful, racist high school boys who went around in blackface, I wonder if their original segment reporting on this story back then was a little longer than 26 seconds. I bet it was. And also, did you notice one other thing about that 26-second segment where they were telling their viewers about these teenage boys who just won a lawsuit against the school who expelled them for wearing blackface? And of course, they say they weren't wearing blackface. They were wearing acne cream. Did you notice what was missing? I mean, this is television. One would think you would show your viewers the picture in question, right? That's kind of a relevant piece of information that the viewer might want to see for themselves so they could decide for themselves. You see, these people aren't actually in the business of news or informing their viewers. They're in a very different business. We are in the business of giving you facts and information. So here's the picture. A nice little montage, by the way, put together by our friends over at the End Wokeness X feed. Love those guys. They do a great job. So there it is. And you can see for yourself. Those are the three. And you just look at the picture, and it is obvious on the face of it that that is an acne cream. It has texture to it. By the
face of it.
Oh, I said on the face of it, didn't I? And I didn't even mean to, Kevin. Thank you.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You know what? I need a ding bell. When you put this out again, I just wanted Larry made a pun. I do it naturally now. I didn't even plan to. Did you have acne problems when you were, I mean, you still are young, Kevin. You could have acne right now for all I know, except the mustache covers it up. But did you ever have to like use the cleansers and the masks?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I never used like a charcoal product like these kids are using, but you know, it's not out of the realm of normal possibilities.
Not at all. All my kids, when they were like 16, 17, they had issues. They did this, the girls and the boys. Now, listen, I mean, and so did I. I don't know if I would celebrate the fact by putting out a picture to all my friends. There's something kind of a little weird about that. But, you know, who am I to judge? And obviously these guys are goofing. They said, look how stupid we look. Let's put it out there. But for the high school to immediately assume, oh, and there you go, Origins, out of trouble, 10-minute mask to rescue problem skin. I love End Wokeness that they actually put the receipt on there. So St. Francis High School, by the way, St. Francis, pray for us that these kind of things are being done in your name is despicable. Which Francis do you think this is? Of Assisi or DeSales? Oh, that's Vincent of DeSales, isn't it? Sorry.
No, you got it right. It's Francis.
Oh, it is Francis. Yeah. So which Francis do you think they're going for here?
I couldn't tell you.
It's San Francisco, right? So it's got to be Assisi, I'm thinking.
Yep.
Yeah. Or adjacent to San Francisco. But good Lord, what are they thinking? And all you have to do is have a conversation with the kids. The kids say, no, it's acne cream. We didn't say, and of course, they didn't post anything racial. They didn't say it, but this is the hysteria that we're in right now, that the kids have to get expelled immediately because they're racist. They're teenage boys. They had acne cream on their face. They're expelled. And in a normal world, the kids say, no, it's not blackface. Come on. And they have, I'm sure, have no track record of anything like this. And he said, no, it was in the thing. Listen, guys, this is the world of social media. You put a picture like that out there, people might leap to the wrong conclusion. Be a little bit more circumspect and just, try better next time, right? I mean, I'm not accusing you of anything, but you just expel them? You just expel them? Yeah, I guess you just expel them. So these kids now, two of those kids just won $500,000 each from St. Francis High School, which, by the way, after taxes will go a long way in the state of California. They might be able to buy an In-N-Out burger. So there's that. But it does remind one of this latest hysteria over false accusations of blackface. You remember this kid. Who's also from California, who Deadspin accused him of being in blackface, right? They had this picture of the kid at the Kansas City Chiefs game enjoying his favorite team. Deadspin, by the way, never actually talked to the kid, never found any information about them, never actually showed their viewers the full front-on picture of the kid. Here's what he actually looked like. Look how wholesome he is. He painted his face in the Chiefs' colors, one half black, one half red. He was enthusiastic about his team. By the way, another thing Deadspin never looked into with this kid was why he liked the Chiefs so much, because he's actually from California. He traveled to Kansas City for the Chiefs game. Why are you such a fan of the Chiefs? And the kid would have answered, well, because my dad is on the board of the local Native American tribe where I live, because we're Native American too. So here's Deadspin calling this little kid who has Native American ancestry rooting for the Chiefs, but he's got black paint on one side of his face, a racist. Since when do we go after little kids, by the way, anyway? Even if he had a full black face and there was some malicious intent, the kid is 8 years old. Go after his parents, maybe. But of course, he didn't even have malicious intent, unless, of course, like me, you don't like the Kansas City Chiefs. That would be malicious intent, by the way. Find a better team. Do better. Root for the Lions, or even better, the Redskins. Oh, I'm in trouble now. So we got the kids at St. Francis High School falsely accused of blackface and expelled from their school. We've got this kid falsely accused of blackface while he's rooting for his favorite football team. And then, of course, the granddaddy of them all, this kid, Nick Sandmann, falsely accused of disrespecting this agitator, this guy who got in his face and started trying to intimidate him. Nick Sandmann, 16 years old, and he got destroyed by mainstream media outlets because they misinterpreted the video showing him. You know why they hated him? Do you know why they went after Nick Sandmann? Do you remember this? I mean, it was only 4 years ago, but these stories, I mean, you have to forget them now because we all have to move on when the truth comes out. It doesn't matter. Nick Sandmann's life is destroyed. Let's not forget why they hated Nick Sandmann in this moment. 2 reasons. Well, 3 reasons. Number 1, you see it on his head. That would be the MAGA hat. Number 2, this happened in Washington, D.C. He and his friends from Cummington High School were in town for the March for Life because they like protecting the unborn. But the 3rd reason, and the real reason they went after him when this video went out, is because he was smiling. Oh, that's right. You should have heard some of the commentary. I want to punch the smile off that smartass's face, they would say. He's a kid. Those are 3 kids. They're minors. And they're going after children with these false accusations. Nick Sandmann, by the way, like the kids in San Francisco with the acne cream, he lawyered up, he sued, and he cashed out with settlements, undisclosed amounts from the Washington Post and CNN, and I think a couple of other outlets. Oh, and the Kansas City Chiefs kid, this kid who was maligned by Deadspin, they lawyered up too, and they might still be going with a defamation lawsuit. but there's not a whole lot of money to get from Deadspin because Deadspin is now out of business. This was the final act of Deadspin. They were done within months of this final desperate attempt for attention and clicks. So there's 3 children who are attacked by the mainstream media and by the woke, politically left crowd with false accusations of intolerance, racism, and blackface. But here's the thing. There really is a problem with blackface out there. You know, like this guy. This guy is the Prime Minister of Canada. But of course, Mr. Trudeau is a liberal, so they don't really have much to say about him. And then there's this guy.
Black people want the same thing white people want.
There's no question.
Black people want slavery as much as white people want. The slaves we want is the Indo-Chinese.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that guy just interviewed Joe Biden, the president of the United States, and he's celebrated by the left. Oh, and then there's also the blackface of this guy.
Today, Paul Malone talking about health.
And that guy has gone through so much hell as a repercussion for going blackface like that he just hosted the Oscars for like the 5th time and makes millions doing a a late night comedy show, which isn't funny. But you see, when you're on the left, you don't even have to be funny to make money as a comedian, as long as you're on the left. And you'll never have to pay the penalty for being in blackface. Oh, one other outrageous example of the left's hysteria going after people for blackface. I'm not joking about this. This happened last year, but it was off our radar until we were researching this segment. There was a DJ who was accused of blackface and intolerance for a video that he posted on social media showing his performance as a DJ at a party. And it actually, he was accused and criticized on CNN. And here's the thing about this guy who was in blackface as a DJ at this party on social media. He's actually a black man. That's right. This black man was accused of being in blackface.
The event went really well. 2 days later, that Monday, I get a call from Ryan Ingram from Ingram Entertainment. And he says, he told me the news. And I'm like, there's no way. This has to be a joke. There's no way that he said, no, I'm serious. And then he told me about the second part about when they said, well, a black person being in blackface is problematic as well. And at that point, I'm taken aback and I'm shocked at this point.
That's right. The criticism came, I believe, at a segment on CNN where it was pointed out to the person who was outraged that this black man was in blackface. Can't even say it with a straight face. Of course, the black man was in blackface. He literally has a black face. There's not a lot he can do about it. What do you want him to do about it? And so when the person, it was pointed out to him, it says, well, you're, outraged over his performance here in blackface, but he is black. And the response is, yes, a black man in blackface is just as problematic as a white man in blackface. But of course, not as problematic as this guy or this guy. Or, of course, this guy. That, not so problematic. All right? So now you know the rules. Play accordingly.